What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. Many call high-stakes sporting events a game of inches. Well, in politics, it was a game of millimeters yesterday as a bullet whizzed through Donald Trump's ear, splattering him with blood, the would-be assassin aiming for his skull or his neck to kill Donald Trump. This would have altered the entire course of Western civilization and may well still do that. We don't know. And the reason we don't know is because we don't know how a would-be assassin who did end up killing at least one innocent person at this Trump rally, how this person was able to put a rifle bead on the president of the United States at 400 yards from a elevated position and get shots off with Donald Trump, who should be one of the most protected men on planet Earth. And heads should roll proverbially. Thank God a head didn't literally roll yesterday for Donald Trump. You can see here the moment of impact as the bullet shot through Donald Trump's ear, Donald Trump seeing blood there on his hand. This is the blood dripping down the president's face. This is how close we were, ladies and gentlemen. A defiant Donald Trump raising his fist in what will undoubtedly be carved into Mount Rushmore in the act of total and complete alpha defiance. Trump with a blood-splattered ear and face. Donald Trump undeterred. Donald Trump saying that the bullet pierced the upper part of my ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong. I heard the whizzing sounds of the shots and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Bleeding took place. I realized what was happening. God save America. The U.S. Secret Service said that a shooter fired multiple shots towards the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue. Well, that's a little strange. Wouldn't the Secret Service be there to protect the president outside of the rally? And got to tell you, it's not only my right, but it's my obligation and your obligation to ask questions in these situations because we fund the Secret Service. So their job is to make sure that the presidential candidates, no matter who they are, and I don't want, of course, anything bad to ever happen to anyone in any of my countrymen. I don't care if you're the president or I don't care if you're just like a dude working at McDonald's. I don't want anything ever bad to happen to you, okay? But we pay for some 8,000 different service agents to secure facilities so that presidents can run for office and give speeches and do that securely. So what the hell happened here? This seems like perhaps the greatest security failure in the history of mankind. I cannot understand how the Secret Service snipers on the rooftop, just 430 feet away from the shooter, did not notice him climbing into position on the roof. Check this out. Check out these schematics. This is where the shooter is. This is where Trump is. Here's where the Secret Service snipers are. Why the hell didn't they do anything? Why not? Doesn't make any sense. Everybody's asking the same question, like, how the hell did this happen? Secret Service rooftop is slightly more elevated than the shooter's rooftop. They should have at least been able to see something, saying the user here. You can see where the Secret Service was, and you can see where Trump was, right here. And then you can see where the shooter was. So the shooter is shooting at Trump from this location, and the Secret Service should have well had a bead on him. Law enforcement snipers were already facing the direction of the shooter seconds prior to the shooting. It's amazing that they did not see the shooter crawling into position from a mere 430 feet away. And we're going to get a lot more footage out of this. But what is readily available right now is footage of the shooter.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So you can see something crazy that's happening here. You've all seen, obviously, the on stage what happened to President Trump, right? When the
if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Okay, so this is what it looked like on stage, but here, check out what it looks like behind President Trump while the guns are going off. Okay, so I want to bring your attention to one or two things here. It's really strange. So here's Trump speaking on stage. Obviously, no shots have rang out, yet the snipers are in a ready-to-go position up top, pointing their firearms at the shooter. Why aren't they shooting? This doesn't make any sense. So you got a guy with a rifle and he's pointing it at the presidential candidate, and you're just going to let him take a shot?
It's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
And then look at the panic and the reactions here. So you have these two snipers who are like up here, and then they kind of retreat. You can see them retreating like almost down the building. This doesn't make any sense to me. The president's been shot. These guys had the shot and they clearly didn't take it. That's obviously what's going on. And we know this guy was on the roof because there's plenty of footage. You know, you can see his dead body, obviously, on the rooftop. Blurred it out because it's very graphic.
I think they hit him.
You know, they eventually did shoot him. But this rooftop that this guy was able to crawl into was just 400 feet away from the president of the United States. What the F? No, man, it's literally, it's worth asking. And everybody says, why didn't these Secret Service agents who are right behind Trump here, why didn't they take the shot? They just let some guy like literally aim at Trump and nothing happens to you? Secret Service allowed a shooter to carry a rifle and climb to a rooftop in broad daylight 100 feet away from President Trump? They have two options: extreme negligence or something else much worse. Like what else? What else is going on here? Look at this. This is where Trump was, and this is where the shooter was, right there. Look how close that is. How was that allowed? Shooter was 150 yards from Trump on a rooftop with a direct line of sight to the stage. Defies every security protocol ever written that this rooftop was not secured and law enforcement personnel were not standing up there. That's exactly right. And, you know, now there's a bunch of witnesses that are coming forward saying that they warned law enforcement about this guy with a rifle.
Take me back. What were you doing before the shooting happened, and then what did you see and hear?
I was just standing there like everybody else, waiting for Trump. And as Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that. And I went and left, and that was all.
So why would this person lie? Why would multiple people lie? BBC interview with a guy outside the security perimeter who claims that he saw the shooter before he fired. It's absolutely wild. These are incredible. These are incredible interviews with people that are saying that, like, we saw this guy like wandering up to the rooftop, okay, at the top of this glass and plastics manufacturer. Here's a really nice clear shot. We saw this guy wandering up here. Why did you allow him to wander up here? And why would you allow this rooftop to be unsecured so close to the presidential candidate? Why was there a ladder here? Apparently there's a ladder. Ladder indicates planned attack on Trump. People are noticing that there is a ladder that was parked here that would allow this person to get up on the rooftop. Is that the gunman right there? I mean, holy smokes, man. Listen to what this guy has to say to the BBC.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? This is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it.
How is this possible? So the Secret Service didn't do anything? So this guy, everyone was saying, look, there's a guy with a gun, and they're pointing it right at Trump, and the Secret Service just points their guns at him and don't fire? How is a sniper with a full rifle kit allowed to bear crawl into the closest rooftop of a presidential nominee? Unsecured rooftop 150 yards away, multiple witnesses saying that they were screaming at Secret Service for cops for 3 to 4 minutes. They watched the guy with the rifle crawl to the spot and take his shot. Take your Secret Service, shove it up your ass. Prayers for the Trump family. A lot of people popping over and saying, what the F? So sniper was able to get the closest roof to the president with a rifle. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but this is insane. Shouldn't there be a couple of blues on that roof, making sure that somebody doesn't climb up there? Help us out if you're on the job. This is, yeah. Look at the schematic. Look at that. Nobody secured that rooftop. Nobody even cared. 2 of the officers on the roof need to be investigated. The one laying down had his shot lined up but didn't take it before the shooter successfully fired 8 shots. The lack of action led to a dead Trump supporter and the former president getting shot, as well as attendees critically injured. That's exactly right. Yeah, I guess this is a close-up of the guy that was on the roof. That's exactly right. Why didn't you shoot? Although I will say, a lot of these guys are under the command of someone else. So who is in charge of the Secret Service? Dan Bongino knows, and Dan Bongino says that Kim Cheadle, who is in charge of the Secret Service, should resign for this. Kim Cheadle is apparently not a very good person. She came from Pepsi. Did you know this? She's the head of the Secret Service. She was hired from Pepsi. She was head of security at Pepsi. Oh, okay.
Time for a full presidential package for President Trump. If you go back and listen to episode 2079, President Trump does not have that. He doesn't have that now. I get it. There are some legalities involved. But President Trump is a former president running for re-election. You essentially have 2 incumbents running. Folks, he does not have a full presidential package right now. It is putting the man in danger. His threat level is apocalyptic and catastrophic. It is time right now for Kim Cheadle, the Secret Service director, to get her head out of her ass and do the right thing. I could tell you stories for days about her putting politics ahead of presidential protection. I am not being overly emotional because I've said it before. The Secret Service director is utterly unqualified right now to be doing what she's doing. It is time for her first to get this thing solved. It's an emergency situation right now and find out what happened, but she should step down immediately. Some of the things she has told people on that detail about security arrangements, clearly making political statements, she is completely unqualified. It is time for President Trump to have a full presidential package.
Donald Trump doesn't even have full protection from the Secret Service. It's it's almost like they want a certain result. Director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle. Who the hell is this person? This person's never gone to who the hell is this person? She was prior to her appointment, Ms. Cheadle served as senior director of global security at Pepsi. Oh, okay. All right, got it. So maybe this is your problem, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk saying the head of Secret Service and the leader of this detail should resign. Elon Musk takes his security very seriously. Why didn't he take the shot earlier, though? Many questions. People are sharing this clip. The Federalist may have the answer. A source familiar with Trump's security details tells the Federalist that the former future president's detail has been asking for a beefed-up protection for weeks, but has been rebuffed every time by the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the Secret Service. They weren't responsive to the requests. Biden regime is behind the attack, or they deliberately did everything they could to allow it developing. Oof, man. Elon Musk saying before she was being put in charge of protecting the president, she's guarding a bag of Cheetos. That's right. This is the person in charge of protecting Donald Trump's life. Elon Musk responding to this. How the hell was such an obvious line of sight not secured? Exactly, says Elon Musk. The House of Representatives is announcing that they're going to be investigating this, and they're going to be doing investigations. They're going to bring in the head of the Secret Service and everybody responsible for this. America First Legal is now, following the assassination of President Trump, launched an urgent investigation into Biden's Department of Homeland Security for denying Trump additional Secret Service protections. This is exactly right. Good. So they're suing now. I don't know how you explain it. There is no way to explain this. This is the new Zapruder film. People on Google Maps have already named this the grassy knoll, this building. There's no other way to say it. It's the new grassy knoll, and it's just a catastrophic Secret Service failure that'll be remembered throughout the ages. I mean, also there's some iconic Trump moments that'll be remembered, but this is too close. I'm sorry, I'm not going to celebrate it. It's too close. There's a lot of MAGA alpha energy, badass, and believe me, I'm down for the memes. But this is terrifying. We're within millimeters of dooming Western civilization. Too close, ladies and gentlemen. Too close. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya. Protect Trump and pray for Trump.